Hello everyone. Welcome to KLE Society's College of Education, Ankola. Myself, Vinod, B.Ed first year student teacher. Before going to the lesson, I would like to ask few questions. We all know that woolen cloths are made from animal fibers. We wear woolen clothes during winters when it is cold outside. Woolen clothes keep us warm. Similarly, we also know that cotton cloths are made from plant fibers. We prefer to wear light colored clothes when it is hot. This gives us feeling of coolness. In winter, you feel cold inside the house. If you come out in the sun, you feel warm. In summer, you feel hot even inside the house. You might have wondered why particular types of clothes are suitable for particular season. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? How do we find out how hot or cold an object is? Before going to the topic, we shall do one activity. Now, the activity is nothing but when we rub our hands gently, what we feel? Yes, we feel heat. Then, can you all say what do you mean by heat? Now, I think you might have understood today's lesson, right? Yes, exactly. So, today we shall study about heat. So, our first concept is about hot and cold. In our day to day life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Tea is hot and ice is cold. Now, now you can see some objects in the screen. You need to say that whether the object is hot or cold. The first one is done for you. The ice cream, which comes under cold object. Now the second one, spoon in a teacup. Whether it comes under hot or cold. Yes, it comes under hot object. Now the next one, fruit juice. Whether the fruit juice comes under cold or hot. Yes, it comes under cold. Now the last one, handle of a frying pan. Whether the handle of a frying pan comes under hot or cold. Yes, it comes under hot object. We cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide whether an object is hot or cold. Sometimes it may deceive us. Then, how do we find out how hot an object really is? Yes, exactly. It's by a temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. Now let us move on to our next concept, measuring temperature. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called clinical thermometer. The image that you are seeing in this screen is a clinical thermometer. You all are familiar with this instrument. You might have seen this instrument in hospital or in a home. A clinical thermometer consists of long, narrow, uniform glass tube. It has a bulb at one end. This bulb contains mercury. Outside the bulb, a small shining thread of mercury can be seen. If you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer bit till you see it. You will also find a scale on this thermometer. The scale we use is the Celsius scale, indicated by degree Celsius. Here you can see the clinical thermometer. The first one is a mercury bulb, next one is a constriction, and then capillary tube, and then comes the scale lines and the expansion chamber, and the last one is stem. Now let us move on to our next concept, reading a thermometer. Let us learn how to read a thermometer. First, note down the temperature difference indicated between the two bigger marks. Also note down the number of divisions between these marks. Suppose the bigger marks read 1 degree and there are 5 divisions between them. Then one small division can read 1 by 5, which is equal to 0.2 degrees Celsius. Our next concept is about laboratory thermometer. How do we measure the temperature of other object? For this purpose, there are other thermometer. One such thermometer is known as laboratory thermometer. Then what do you mean by a laboratory thermometer? A laboratory thermometer is a tool used in laboratories to measure temperature with high accuracy. Now we shall move on to our next concept, transfer of heat. So what do you mean by transfer of heat? Here we will learn about transfer of heat. In this, first comes the conduction. So what do you mean by a conduction? The conduction is a nothing but the process by which heat is transferred from hotter end to colder end of an object is known as conduction. Now comes our next concept, conductors and insulators. You have already heard about these conductors and insulators. Then what do you mean by conductors and insulators? The conductors are nothing but the materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors. For example, aluminium, iron, and copper. Insulators are nothing but the materials which do not allow heat to pass through them are called insulators. Now, when a water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the slide moves down towards the source of heat. This water also gets hot and rises, and water from the sides move down. This process continues till whole water gets heated. This mode of transfer is known as convection. Now let us move on to the next concept, sea breeze and land breeze. So what do you mean by a sea breeze and a land breeze? The sea breeze is nothing but during the day the land gets heated faster than the water. The hot air rises up and cooler air from the sea rushes towards the land. This is called the sea breeze. A land breeze. A land breeze is nothing but at night the water cools down more slowly than the land. So the cool air from the land moves towards the seas. It is called as land breeze. Now let us move on to our last concept of this lesson, kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. We have already know that in winter we normally prefer woolen clothes to keep us warm. Similarly, we prefer light colored clothes in summer to keep us cool. This was about our topic heat. Thanks for watching.